Hey, Kyle here with KyleSeagraves.com. Let's talk about 9 home inspection tips for buyers. So when you're looking to buy a house, the last thing that you want to do is buy a home that has a lot of hidden problems that you're not aware of until maybe a year or two into the future. And that's one of the biggest fears. It's almost like when you go used car shopping and you buy a car and then it turns out to be a really bad deal because you're just spending thousands of dollars repairing that car because it had problems that you didn't know were there. So home inspection does just that. It's going to protect you against that problem and make sure that you know all of the faults and errors and fixes that home needs. That way you can come back to the seller, get those things fixed and addressed, and know what that home is going to look like in the future so you can make a solid investment in your house. Okay. Home inspection costs about $500 up front on average, and that's going to be money out of pocket if you walk out of the deal. But anytime we have clients who are debating a home inspection, we always suggest that they find a independent inspector to go look at the property. Because if they walk away, it's disappointing to always walk away from a deal and you're out some of that money, but they save thousands of dollars by not having to fix those repairs in the future. And what ends up happening is they always end up finding the house that they love, which, having an inspection, knowing that home is going to be safe and secure for you and your family, is going to give you confidence in the future. So let's walk through 9 tips that you need to consider when you're getting a home inspection. So number 1 is you're going to want to look at an inspection contingency. So this is where in your contract, when you submit an offer, you're going to say that you want around maybe 10 to 15 days to inspect the property. Bring out inspectors, maybe just one inspector or specialty inspectors, to make sure that everything with the house looks good for you. Okay, so that inspection contingency is time for the inspector to come out, inspect the property, and then for you to renegotiate that contract with any repairs that you're going to ask the seller to fix or pay for. Okay, also, you want to mentally prepare for a full inspection. A good inspection should feel like the sky is falling. Okay, a good inspector is going to pick out all of the very small details. They're going to show you big red flag problems and small little problems, even down to errors in some of the caulking or errors in just minor electrical problems. They're going to show you every single thing. So when you get that inspection report back and it's multiple pages, calm down, it's okay. Read through that, ask your inspector any questions that you have, and then formulate a plan that you're going to bring to the seller to get that fixed. Okay, but it's going to feel rough at first, but there's, every home is going to have issues. So just expect to see a lot of things coming back from that inspection. Okay, also attend the inspection and ask questions. All right, so that inspection is probably going to last anywhere between 3 to 4 hours if you're using a really thorough inspector. Okay, so don't hover over them and get in the way of their job, but ask them questions. If you're curious about things or they bring up something on the report that you're not sure of, ask them to clarify things. They might not be able to give you recommendations just depending on some of the licensing, but ask as much as you can. That way you can be clear and confident about some of these repairs that you're going to be asking for. Okay, focus on the contract, not on a wish list. So what I mean by that is don't risk a deal over just things that you want, right? The inspection contingency is all about fixing things that you need done in the home before you move in. Okay, it's not about things that you want to happen like certain paint or different fixtures or anything else cosmetic like that. It is only focusing on making sure that this deal closes. Okay. Also, look at some specialty inspections. You can have things like a pest inspection, a well inspection, a radon inspection, depending on the inspection company that you go with, that may or may not be included in the primary inspection. So for instance, you might have a primary inspection and then you need a specialty chimney inspection if there's a fireplace. So in that inspection contingency period, that's where you can bring in a main inspector and any specialty inspectors if you need to do so. Okay, this is a big one. Trust your agent. Okay, you're not doing this alone. You have a real estate agent for a reason. Ask them for referrals for inspectors. Okay, you obviously can go search for an inspector on your own or maybe somebody that you know, but your agent has closed several deals most likely. And they work with inspectors and they know which are the good ones and which are the bad ones. Ask them for a referral on a home inspector, and also trust their advice when going through the negotiation stage. It's very easy, again, to see this big inspection report with a slew of repairs that are needed, and then to feel like you have to get all those fixed. Ask your agent. Your agent is going to give you good advice in recommending what to ask for to be repaired and what not to ask for to be repaired. Okay. Also, don't risk your deal over cosmetic issues. All right. For instance, if there is let's say there's a railing that has some dents in it, don't risk a seller backing out of the contract because you asked for small things to get fixed. All right. The inspection repairs are all about the big ticket items that you need to be able to move into that home. Cosmetic repairs are things for you to fix. Don't risk that deal over just these very minor things. Okay. Also, focus on red flags mainly. Again, small things, sometimes you can ask for them. Don't risk the contract over that. But you want to focus on the bigger items, things like the roof, the foundation, HVAC, anything that could cost several thousands of dollars within a time frame of the next 3 to 5 years is going to be the main thing that you want to focus on. Because what you want to do with this inspection is make sure that the home is worth the value that you're paying for it. If you're buying a $200,000 house and it has a $15,000 roof problem, you need to go back and look and see, is $200,000, $15,000 too expensive for this property? Okay. You don't want to overpay. And inspections are going to help you find those bigger ticket items if there are any issues with the property. Also, you want to follow up with repairs, and you want to do this in 2 ways. You could have a re-inspection with an inspector, and that's a possibility. It's probably going to cost you money. But what you can also do is get receipts for any repairs that were finished, and then do a 24-hour walkthrough. And a 24-hour walkthrough is 24 hours before closing. You walk through the home and make sure that everything was completed. If it wasn't, then you're probably going to delay closing and wait for that to happen. But if you do ask for repairs from the seller, make sure you get receipts. That way you have it documented. Then make sure you also do a walkthrough to make sure that those things actually happened and the receipts match up with the actual work that was done. Okay? Buying a home should not be overwhelming, shouldn't be scary. But if you don't get a home inspection, you're not going to be entirely certain of the surety of the home that you're buying. You're not going to have confidence that this is a good investment. So make sure you get a home inspection, read through that report, request some repairs from the seller if you need it, and then move forward in confidence with your house. Thanks so much for watching.